Thanks, Kareem. Jared, is the administration preparing for a recession? And how do you react to companies like Apple and banks saying today that they intend to slow hiring because the economy is slowing?
So let me tell you a little bit about the way the National Bureau of Economic Research Business Cycle Dating Committee, that's the group that decides recessions, makes their call. They weight a couple of variables pretty heavily, and one of them is payroll employment. Now, based on payroll employment, which, by the way, of course, relates to the unemployment rate, 3.6%, an historically very low unemployment rate for the past 4 months. Those kinds of statistics are anything but recessionary. Now, that's very much a look at the job market today. Slightly more forward-looking is if you look at consumers, and by the way, the bank reports I thought had this in their earnings reports. They talked about the strength of the American consumer. If you look at retail sales from just last week, you'll see American consumers still helping to fuel an economy that's delivering really remarkable job gains. So I think, and by the way, that in itself relates to something I kind of referenced in my opening comments, the fact that not only do people have the benefit of an historically strong job market behind them, a real tailwind in this economy, many also still have excess savings. This is one of the things that's helping to fuel consumer spending, which again is 70% of our economy. So I think if you look at the strength of the current economy, if you look at the strength of the labor market, if you look at the strength of consumer spending, you would conclude that where we are right now remains solidly within expansion.
Okay, and just one follow-up to that. I'm sure we all remember a year ago, other colleagues of yours stood here and said inflation was transitory and was not going to last and was certainly not going to go up to where we are now. Do you think it's possible in a couple of months you might regret standing here and saying we're not about to be in a recession?
Well, I want to be very clear what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that based on consumer spending, based on payroll employment, based on where the unemployment rate is, I think we can confidently say that these numbers that we're posting are very much inconsistent with a recessionary call given where we are right now. I think that is the most accurate way to assess the answer to that question. When it comes to transitory, I think the answer there is that we were careful when we were talking about that to consistently reference the forecasts that were out there, the view on inflation's trajectory by not only pretty much every forecaster we could find, but of course the Federal Reserve as well. And so this was a period where we hadn't seen new variants of the virus, where the war in Ukraine, of course, was not yet a reality. So I think that if you look at the general trajectory of where the forecasts were pointing in there, that was generally the way in which we tried to talk about that. And I think that's worth going back and seeing.